do the line, and we'll just go right to do the speech and go right to the let that comic go.
Everybody wants to live the fantasy, and nobody wants to live reality. Nobody's happy being who they are.
Boy, did she blow it. If I may.
We are blessed, all of us. We're just embarking on things that needs to be set in place for the whole thing to work. You know, planting seeds here and there, like how Cameron, when he first came to the land, the first touch of the land was the planting of that seed, and he put something behind it because he'll get the story that nobody else will. When I first do things with people, especially something like this, the first thing in my mind was, I gotta get everybody in the water, because the ocean was our way of cleansing. Anything in your body that is there for whatever kind of reasons, let it go. And so that was to prepare everybody, just prepare the whole thing to become successful. That's what it's all about. That's why the blessing. And that was a special one then.
My big thing was I wanted to write about the sky, and I wanted to write about the promise of the sky.
Then he comes, he makes a stop here, and then he goes. Then we do this. And the picture can go up and it's already.
I don't know.
Are you gonna go with him?
No, just stay.
You stay here.
Why? Am I been just Cameron for I don't know, but perfect. Just wanna...
Excellent. Thank you very much.
You have to pick and choose your movies carefully because you are going to be gone from your family for so long. But when Cameron Crowe calls you to ask you to be a part of his film, you go. Especially when that film is in Hawaii and it's a movie he's been trying to make for 5 years, and I wanted to be a part of it.
You can even share the look. That'll be great if you share the look with one of your buddies here. Like, you know, look at this. Look at what we did to this guy. That's good.
I remember Bradley just came out of the box, you know, on fire, playing this character, Gilchrist. It just felt like we were beginning at a full trot, you know, like we were just blasting away, literally.
I love the idea of trying to just take on the task of speaking his dialogue, which is so musical and specific and heightened but real and challenging.
Your whole world got better thanks to Global One. Yeah, this is... I've been through this many, many times. This is how it's done. This is how it's done. This is how it's supposed to go.
We have a 63-day schedule, and this particular calendar represents all the work over the course of 3 months. Each color is a different location, and as you see, we sit on certain locations for a certain amount of days. We have a lot to do in a little bit of time, and that's why we run fast, jump high, keep the machine rolling.
So this is our title, Untitled Hawaii Project, because we don't have a title yet for the film.
The way that Eric Gauthier likes to film is very much in scene order. And I think that once you embrace it, you find that it's very freeing. And it was freeing for Cameron to just be able to look any direction and not wait a half an hour to move all kinds of gear. And it was liberating in a lot of ways. And I think Cameron really enjoyed that process.
Eric is a very minimalist lighter. I had to watch the cloud cover because the clouds would form and we needed the harsh light. And if there was cloud cover, we couldn't shoot.
I'm holding up shooting right now in Cameron Crowe's film because the sun hasn't come out yet.
He is a European cinematographer. It's different in that there are no set rules. Not necessarily the norm of a big budget film like this, more of like an independent style, but that's kind of what Eric likes, that feel of it's intimate, it's personal.
Call it what you will, Captain, but I go hard, I go deep, and sometimes I break things, okay?
And cut. Cutting.
It depends on the story and it depends on the movie what I get out of being an actor.
Emma is a student of classic kind of romantic comedy and Billy Wilder and Ernst Lubitsch, and she has so much range. She can be funny and soulful and dramatic, and it's just hard to get all of that in one person. And I wanted to be the guy behind the camera be there when it happened.
The experience of getting to say Cameron's words and try to infuse them with, you know, authenticity and everything that they deserved. And that's what I feel I got out of it every day.
There's just an ease that I feel working with her where I feel completely open. That really allows both of us to be very bold in our attempt to fulfill the requirements that this script demands.
I think chemistry between actors, it's the single most important factor to me when playing a character.
We're not in Coachella waiting for the Molly to kick in so we can ride in the mud and brace like and wait for Tupac's hologram to come on and make us feel things.
Understood.
Good.
You're cynical. I get it.
And again.
With Cameron, you're never done mining a line or an idea or a feeling or a scene. It can just go and go and go. Always digging, always exploring and excavating and diving deeper.
Never felt more alive. Let your eyes find hers.
He's definitely open to experience of discovering the story, even though it's already been completely constructed in his mind and on paper, but that it can be malleable.
Okay. Call it what you will, Captain. I go hard, I go deep. Sometimes I break things. Okay?
Okay.
Now there's gonna come a point I'm gonna give you a look. That means it's Brian's time.
Who's Brian?
I'm Brian! I am Brian! I'm Brian.
Cut! Cut it!
This is our village. The name is Pu'uhonua o Waimanalo Village. It's also known as the Land of Aloha.
Remember the first time we came up here?
I do remember the first time we came up here.
And we drive up this road and we get to the end of the road and there's a gate.
There's a gate and there's a sign. And the sign says Sovereign Nation of Hawaii, correct? And I'm like, are we at the real Bumpies?
There's a flag flying upside down. It's like,
Johnny goes, there's a flag flying upside down? I'm like, we are at the real Bumpies.
The village actually came out of a struggle and a land occupation, a movement that took place back in 1993. And we came to some terms with the state of Hawaii and negotiated for over 50 acres here. It's been a very peaceful movement towards independence, towards the restoration of our independence, and it's more than just a sovereignty movement. We've grown more into developing a nation, a country.
the moment we got up there and we turned around and we looked back and we saw the ocean, it was like,
yeah, that was a big deal.
We must shoot this.
Yeah.
Everybody came here in the past was always looking to use this, use that. Had their own vision of what it was to be used for, not our story. Cameron was interested in our story. And what makes it easier is we're friends. And when you're my friend, I trust real fast.
And we sat down with Bumpy and he walked us around. It took us a couple trips and then all of a sudden Bumpy just sort of leaned in and goes, "It's all yours. If you want to shoot here, the kingdom's yours."
One of the special things about today is that there are so many Native Hawaiians on this crew who have never been here, know of it, and in being here today for the first time are just blown away just by the overall beauty of it all.
We're making Hawaiian and Hollywood history at the same time, thanks to Cameron and Uncle Bumpy's relationship, you know, and therefore because of that interaction, we all feed our families from this movie, you know. It's really pioneering. It's a really special place, and it's a special time, and it's only right that we have it here.
Yeah, we never let nobody in. We couldn't believe, like, white people were shocked. You know, that, yeah, but this is what we do. But it didn't dawn on me that nobody got to see the places where we kept everybody out, right? We didn't like the hustle and the bustle and, you know, I mean, we must have had thousands of people want to sign up to live here. And then you get activists, you know, we got to do this, we got to do that. They said, you know what, you see all this land, just go grab the land, do something. You got to do that. You might go jail, you might run into some problems, but hey, shit, you never know.
It felt kind of holy. The fact that he trusted us to kind of film in this sacred place, I knew it would seep into the movie. What I didn't know is that Bumpy would actually be an actor.
You know, he wrote the character of Bumpy based on Bumpy. Bumpy has never acted in a film before, and we spent months looking for an actor who could play Bumpy.
We'd auditioned people and some really fine Hawaiian actors and stuff, but we just kept getting drawn back to the charisma of the man himself.
I was actually really, like, excited, scared, you know, like, but I said, what the hell? I fought with the government and all that. I went to jail and, you know, it shouldn't be that hard.
I love a country. You look good.
So you're a paycheck warrior?
No.
Completing of billionaires in bed with the military?
Bumpy. This is Ing, Captain Ing.
Aloha.
Aloha.
Need a little help, brother.
Nothing to talk about.
Cameron's instinct was that he would be a perfect Bumpy, and thank God we went with him, because I think it really grounds that section of the movie, which in the wrong hands can slip into potentially a dire situation for the film. It could get sort of saccharine, and he just adds such a weight to it.
In bed for a while?
No. I mean, something like that, yeah.
You look better when you were younger. So pale now.
Okay, thank you.
And he turned out to be great. I mean, so charismatic and present in a scene, and we just let him be himself, and we just put a camera on him and almost did it like a documentary, and we would just throw questions at him and he would answer them, and Bradley would just play a scene with him and help him through, and they would be into it. It was amazing to watch.
Carson Welch, and it's beginning to be you too.
Yeah? What? Why?
I gotta breathe. Okay. But I'm also my look and I was like, this guy get into my mind now. Oh, shit. Wait. Let me check one thing. Okay.
Listen, Bumpy, don't check anything. I gotta breathe. That's beautiful. Stay in it. Stay in that, dude. Stay in. That's right. That's not wrong. That's right. What you just felt is good. That's the shit. I felt horrible. I felt like a rotten person just then. That's good. That's the story we're telling.
Okay.
You know what I'm saying?
You don't have to make me too mad though.
Okay.
No. Okay. Go for it, man.
Okay.
Yeah.
It's one of my favorite things in the movie. He tells a story about how Hawaii was taken from the native Hawaiians, and he tells it so succinctly and beautifully that I just love the idea that living in our movie is the story for all those people that don't really know it.
Right on, brother. And that was it. That changed my whole turn on military.
My further dream is that one night at the White House, Obama watched our movie and saw the story of the very place that he was born told back to him by Bumpy.
I mean, not in uniform, but, you know, I'm in a military base. These guys is all, they were so respectful, and it made me just, like, I was like, you know what? It's the best thing ever happened to me. Because I took away the soldier part of the U.S. from the U.S. that I was dealing with in here. Bradley was really helpful. Bradley came up to me and he said, conserve your energy. I said, what? He said, how do you do this? He said, I conserve my energy. And it didn't dawn on me that I couldn't act or I couldn't concentrate on my role if I was talking to somebody and telling the guys, hey, go wash the dishes, or go put up the tent, or, you know, plant the taro over there, right? I had to, like, totally be here now.
Set and background. Action.
It's always a weird thing to have cameras in your face and feeling like you have to deliver on a certain moment instead of being open and letting that moment be discovered. And I think his learning curve was massive and very fast. And I learned from him, actually, a lot. So it was very fulfilling for me as an actor to work with him.
Right on. We're family now, brother. And of course, always encouraged by Cameron. Hey, you're doing fine. Encouraged by a lot of the, you know, the people around Cameron. But that's Cameron. You know, that whole thing is him. His aura is on everybody.
That's great. Turn around to your right. Take in the sky. To your right. Turn around so we can see your face. Great. Take it all in, Bumpy. Something's going on up there. Your ancestors are going to take care of that problem. And now let your gaze come to your left. Take in the whole sky. Your ancestors are going to solve this problem up there.
Do you think they could have ever found a Bumpy to cast?
No. Wouldn't have been real. Plus, my ancestors would never have let that happen. Never.
I always loved the way David Crosby played guitar. Joni Mitchell plays that way with open tuning. Neil Young plays that way sometimes. I fell in love with that style of playing, which essentially is guitar playing with a lot of space in it and a lot of room for silence to let chords and harmonics just ring out. I didn't know that this was a Hawaiian style of playing. It's the Hawaiian slack key style. And Ledward is a very tough, beautiful representative of that.
To me, music is love, music is healing, music is everything. For me, music is everything.
And then when you think about people that use kind of space and silence, it's not that far of a leap to get to Jónsi and Alex. So it was kind of like pollinating that Hawaiian feeling with a little bit of the California style, with this Icelandic style. It's just wrapping its arms around you, so you breathe with the music. And that was the sound I wanted for the movie. And the fact that Ledward was going to be in the movie playing and that was going to be part of the story, I was pinching myself the whole time.
When you bring people together, it's like we're family. We call it ohana. That's how this whole thing started off. For me, to teach Emma Stone how to play Waimanalo Blues. So to me, she felt like an ohana from far away. And that's what I love about this style of music, in the Hawaiian music, that brings strangers to connect with us as family. And that's why I love playing for other people and see what kind of reaction I get from them. Like Hawaiians say, chicken skin, you know, I mean, it feels so good that you get filled with like chicken skin because of the music.
There was an atmosphere that night that was beautiful. People throw around the word magical a lot. That was magical. And sure enough, the islands had one more powerful surprise for us before we packed up and moved to the military base.
I think the arrival myth is real, Gilchrist. I think the sky is speaking to us. Something's coming.
It was scary. There's a heaviness in the air. You can feel Hawaiian history, you can feel life, you can feel death, you can feel myth, you can feel Hawaiian culture in all of its lightness and darkness. You have to be respectful. And the night marchers, they're ghosts that have to be respected. You have to be a native Hawaiian to look at them, or you will be cursed. I feel that in some of our last takes, captured in the shadows were the night marchers. And I feel it when we watch that sequence in the movie. There was something that appeared in the lenses of the cameras that were shooting towards the end of that filming experience. And as soon as we saw it, we stopped. And we left with gratitude and respect.
We started off in all the jungles and all around Oahu, and we end our film on the military base, which is two different situations completely. And that's really what the story's about, and we lived that story.
And action!
Every time one of the actors would come in, it felt like, you know, the way Cameron treats all his characters, they're all the stars of the film. So it really felt like each one of their storylines became the epicenter of the story.
I feel like every day that I go to work and get to act, everything's a little bit heightened, it's a little bit more special. It's such an interesting journey and adventure.
Rachel McAdams, I knew instantly she could do my stuff, which is easy to write and hard to perform sometimes. I hear that a lot from actors.
The best thing about it is the community of people that you're with. To be on set is a very rare experience and a window into the world. And I just think the people around a movie set or a theater, there's a bond and there's a family and a community aspect to it that I find incredibly special and really empowering.
Dad! Look at my camera.
Did you get some good shots?
Are you the arrival? In probably every single scene, I use this camera and shoot it, and they actually take the footage that I shot, and they're gonna put it in the movie.
Hi. Okay, why don't I hold that while you eat? All right, Spielberg, it's time for your close-up.
We were like an actual brother and sister here. We developed a pretty close relationship.
I love your house.
I hope we get to keep it with all the base combining stuff.
Cut, quit.
I love being able to create someone who's already created on a piece of paper. You get to bring them to life. And I love that process, and I know that acting is something I want to do for the rest of my life.
I gotta see more of this. This is unbelievable.
It's not that good.
It is that good.
Alright, are you ready? Should we go?
Yes.
Oh, I think I lost something. Not sure what it was. Maybe my hair, maybe my face, I don't know.
In Eastbound and Down, he had ended one of the episodes by saying he felt like he was in a Cameron Crowe movie, and I really loved the idea of actually like saying, "Would you please be in a Cameron Crowe movie?" And he said yes.
Background. Action. I know it's hot out here today, but there are women and children present, so let's keep our shirts on, shall we? Yes, sir. Yep.
You know, this character's nickname is Fingers. This is a guy who always is talking with his hands, with his fingers, so yeah, I had to develop that, and I had to practice it so much that in my life now, I've like kind of caught myself just doing this now. This movie has given me a tick. It is very soothing just to sit there and just kind of like let your fingers roll.
Teletubbies dubbed in every single language. Unbelievable. Oh look, if you got to buy a used car in Hong Kong, that appears to be the man.
We kind of throw a ball up every now and then. There's that. There's the counting. Just do that, count, you know. But the cat's head, that's kind of what I come back to the most. Just a nice little cat. Look at that. Just tiny little head. Just grab it.
Why do you love your job so much?
Well, it's just, it's so much fun. Cameron is the kind of director where it's just like he loves to create as the camera's rolling for each take. We try and take that direction and make that work and make it, you know, tell the story in that way that he's asking at that particular moment because he's so creative and has so many ideas.
There's an issue with the launch. They need you, Gilchrist. You're the only guy in the Pacific with the skill set to handle a glitch like this. Carson asked for you.
It's really, really fun to work that way because it's just exciting and it's happening right now. It really makes you feel alive, and I love that.
Hi.
Hi! There he is.
Lonnie, where can I find the great one?
He's in the back.
If you've worked with somebody before, it's always kind of fun because then you get that feeling that they're part of a troupe. Jay, I hadn't seen in, years, and we were back to a shorthand pretty quickly. He'll always be like the kid in Almost Famous to me.
That's what I'm talking about. Free market.
So we'll play at distances. Is that great?
I just love the way that he works. And you can tell he's a guy who has like a music background and a love of music. There's something about this movie and this set. It's like just when like a great rhythm section is like in the pocket.
They said it would happen, and it's going to happen. We get to work together. Finally. Yeah. Sounds great.
It was like that working with Baldwin. He had a lot of yelling to do. He blew his voice out. The guy just doesn't stop giving.
She's a part of Hillary Clinton's Star Guard. You know what that is?
No, I don't.
Well, neither do I.
Well, I find that to yell at people in a film is not easy to do.
Ah, God damn it!
If some paparazzi is taking my wife's picture out in front of my apartment, then that becomes a much more organic thing. But in life, I don't think people seek to be angry.
And Facebook! No, I got it.
It is riveting and hilarious to watch his process. Some of the hilarious things that he does to warm himself up or to reset himself during takes.
I know where to go. Ready? Say when.
We're going to wear this like Flava Flav wears a clock.
Star, what is it? Shit. What? Guard.
If you have something that's well written, you want to play it on a technical level, and emotionally, you want to kind of ski the hill to the bottom.
And so do we. So stay away from our girl. I'm gonna take that one more time. God, weapons?
It's very colorful and smart, Cameron's writing. And when you have that kind of writing, you want to just do it, you know, zip right to the end.
Weapons? Okay, but I want to go back. You got plenty of film?
We never intended to cast like known people in all of these parts. They just kind of appeared as the people that were best prepared and ready to do the parts. So the result of all it is the whole ensemble came to life.
Anyone guys on Bill Murray, we need him on set right away.
Super early on, when talking about the character of Carson Welch, I had told Emma, you know, I really would love Bill Murray to play this part. Do you think there's any chance? And she said, well, you know, I'll ask him.
I just sent Bill a text message and asked if he wanted to come to Hawaii with Cameron Crowe and me. And he said that didn't sound half bad.
Is that what I said?
Yeah.
Doesn't sound half bad. So, and that's all I really said.
Don't get your hopes up. It's probably not going to happen. He's notoriously difficult to pin down. So, like, start looking for somebody else.
Bill negotiated through Jaden, the little boy who was doing a film with him called St. Vincent.
At the last day in St. Vin, Bill came up to me and said, should I come to Hawaii with you?
And like a couple nights later, there's this ping and a text came in from Jaden who said, Bill wants me to tell you I will be there in Hawaii. Aloha. and I realized that this is the classic Bill Murray way. Still, you never have a full promise that the guy's gonna be there.
So we weren't sure if he was really gonna show up, and he showed up one day on the tarmac. We were blown away that he was there. He made it.
As he's walking towards you, you're going, holy shit, it's Bill Murray and he's here.
That was it. And then we just cheered.
I know, they acted like, oh, you came, you were coming. But I said half bad. That's usually, that's half bad is like, that's code for pretty good.
And then he just starts giving everybody back rubs. It was beautiful. You're standing there and getting a back massage from Bill Murray on a tarmac at an Air Force base in Hawaii. It was very surreal.
Now we're trying to like stage a couple days later Bill Murray's entrance into the movie. And I thought, you know, like what if Bill Murray like breaks the tension in the atmosphere by just coming behind Gilchrist and massaging him and diffusing any stress or tension. So what you see in the movie is essentially what he did.
It's good to be back.
I didn't abandon you. I saved you.
These two guys are like titans of film comedy. If you compare it to baseball or something, you're like managing a baseball team. Like these two home run hitters come in and they just have that look in their eye, which is like, just put me up to bat, throw me a fastball. I brought my bat. You're gonna see that ball sail, baby.
man. Dixon, a little help?
Don't ruin the party.
Not a chance. It's my party.
Bill Murray and Emma Stone dancing to Hall & Oates, I Can't Go For That. That's something that you kind of look forward to, like a giddy school child. You know, you're just like, Well, next week we're going to film Bill Murray and Emma Stone dancing. That's going to be fun. It was clear that we weren't going to choreograph it. He studied the Hawaiian dancers, asked them if it was okay if he could use some of their moves. He handled it so perfectly with such great respect for the Hawaiians, and quietly just started filling his arsenal with dance moves.
So we have to work into it slowly. And it's going to be clumps of people, kind of chatting, again, like a cocktail party. The music is going to start playing. You're not going to immediately feel like it's a signal for you to dance. Our characters are going to kind of move among you and just kind of bounce off of you like pool balls.
Our mantra for situations like this was, we're shooting a nature documentary. Let it happen. Let's capture what would really happen in a nature documentary.
Well, hello, Captain Ing.
You know, Bill Murray and Emma Stone were the animals in our nature documentary, I guess. We just let it roll that night and just crank the music and let it go.
Ready for liftoff! 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, liftoff!
We let him go. And he came in and literally we just played jazz with him, meaning let him have the room, let him do what he wants, dance and throw shoes at Christmas trees and get girls on the pool table pretending to blast off. We just had so much fun. It was a very, very fun night.
You're like, watch this. This is going to be great. And we're going to do it 7 different ways. We'll do it so you can have it any way you want it. You want the grilled onion? Sure. Yeah, I'll give you the grilled onion. You want a grilled tomato? What? What, do you want mustard? You want fries with that? And you're just making dish after dish of it. And, you're cooking. You're really cooking. You're making things go, and it's fun. And when it's fun like that, you can do it all day long.
Obviously, when they're doing 360, you got to get out of the way. Shot the first Lollapalooza in 1991, and that was a lot easier than trying to get a decent shot of Emma and Bill dancing.
And what you have on film is the chemistry between Emma and Bill Murray. With Danny McBride playing the DJ, there's not too much to feel bad about. You're basically pinching yourself the whole time and saying, I'm really glad this gets to be my job in life. It's really something.
Every day I watch this production happen, I am more and more amazed at the similarities between how the production team all of a sudden takes what seems like a little bit of chaos and makes it happen. And I think that's what we have in the military.
You want to try to do that, then you'll initiate, and then he'll come up and then you'll try to do that. Got it. See that?
The amount of love Cameron is showing, I mean, he's going through great pains, continuously updating the script, once he talks to someone and they tell him how something works, to ensure that everything he does is accurate.
Yeah, just like whip it out.
He's one of these guys that surround himself with people who want to work hard for him. That's exactly what I want my young airmen and my young officers to do. And I think if anybody watches that guy, because you can see how hard his cast and crew work for him, they just don't want to let him down. And what commander doesn't want that either?
Shooting on the base was great because we just parked in one place and we would shoot it as you would a backlot in a lot of ways. We used real military families and kids.
We want to take it up a lot. Movement, people, greetings, ceremonies.
It's been great to get to team up and make it as realistic as possible. There's just a flavor in the air, you know, when you do have the planes flying overhead and you're standing on the flight line. You don't have to pretend so much, you know, it's really, the essence of it is so available.
Hey, Mark. Hey, Mark.
So the pilots that I was in the scene with, who were very real pilots, a married couple, the first thing they said to me was that they had the coolest job in the world.
So today we're taking John Krasinski in the C-17 simulator.
And hopefully we're gonna get him to feel more comfortable when we go in the real C-17 right behind me.
Which was one of the coolest things I've ever done. It's an incredibly immersive experience, and I was terrified through the entire process because it feels like you're flying a real plane.
Just check co-pilot.
Told to check pilot.
Flap index set 76, thrust rating, max crew briefing is the same as last time, but full flight.
All the weight distribution, all the turns, all the controls, everything feels very, very real. And you feel that you have a responsibility to land everybody safely, despite the fact that it's a giant video game.
How long did it take us to land? We got like 10,000 feet of runway left. That's amazing. You landed like...
We were literally on an Air Force base where jets were breaking sound barriers and ripping over our heads all the time, but it was part of the story. So it was so great to like embrace all the sound interruptions.
Most of our locations have been very sound unfriendly. It's nobody's fault. It's just the nature of the sorts of locations that we're shooting. When you're doing a dramatic film, the importance of preserving the actor's performance on the day, you know, when they're really into it, is so important. Sound is a primary sense that is so much part of our world.
For actors, it's kind of heaven as well, because we get to use all of the senses in a real way instead of recreating in our mind what we think it would be like. We're actually living in it.
Yeah, they're getting about ready to start engines now, so we'll have about 5 minutes or so before they actually start taxiing down to the last chance.
These planes are worth $250 million. This is like the most advanced technology on the planet is right here. And these guys are inviting us to go stand 50 feet away from them, taking off and flying up into heaven, basically. And once they passed us, we had like 90 seconds from that to when they were going to be flying by us at 400 miles an hour. We all just threw all of the gear in the truck, and that guy was probably going 80 miles an hour with us kind of like hanging on wildly down a runway, and we piled out.
Here we go, guys.
Just as we're getting the camera set up, we see the first one, and all of a sudden he starts coming towards us. They're like deceptively slow at the beginning. You just see them move a little bit, and the next thing you know. And we learned very quickly just how fast these things were going to be going, and we'd have one chance.
Our producers were incredible. They got permission for us to shoot up next and inside one of these F-22s. No civilians are allowed to do that.
If we don't like something as she's going up the ladder, we stop. It's just exactly.
They got permission for Emma and Emma only to go inside this F-22.
That was crazy and unbelievable. I was the first civilian to ever get to sit in an F-22, which is basically the most stealth and deadly weapon the U.S. military has.
In that scene, she's also melancholy because she's broken up with the character of Gilchrist and she's been left with this decal. And she's putting this decal on her flight notebook. So we only had a certain amount of time to film these F-22s, and Eric and the camera guys were just having so much fun filming these incredible pieces of technology. They're like, yeah. But look, we can get this shot, and if we get this shot, we can get the Hawaiian airliner landing behind it on the actual Hawaiian airport runway so that you get the old and the new happening. I'm like, guys, it's about a decal. She's breaking up with the guy and the decal makes her sad. She's in the F-22. She's got to put the decal on. They're like, yeah. I'm like, soon the sun's going to go down.
Emma, stay with the decal.
But for me, that sequence is a lot about like this special entree that we were given to actually film these great planes and the decal. I still don't know what Emma was able to see. We weren't allowed to film it, and she would never tell us what it was.
Meeting members of the military, I had never really been around the armed forces in that way. And they were just so warm and welcoming and really excited that we were shooting on the base.
Alec and Bill had never been up close to an F-22, and they couldn't believe we got permission, and they just came out to see what we were doing, and they were having a lot of fun.
How you doing? I'm Bill Marks. How you doing? Oh no, I don't want to climb in. I know you. But I'm just afraid I'll try to avenge them. Go ahead.
Whenever you go into the world of the military, you see that the people who serve in the military make you proud. You see how dedicated they are. You see how well trained they are. You see how proud they are to do what they do. And you realize that no matter what happens in our country, we have great people who serve in the military. It's always thrilling to meet them up close. You can tell the difference between the fake military and the real military. Because they look like they're present and they're here. And the fake military people were thinking about, where am I going to get a shrimp taco tomorrow on my day off? We think about that too.
One of the gifts of Hawaii is you're never far from the land, the water, and the sky. Even shooting on a military base, all the elements of our story were within reach. We kind of came up with this long shot where Murray would be at the end of this sandbar, almost on top of the water. And then we came to the close-up of Bill Murray looking up into the sky, his arms outstretched, and in the shot, the feds are going to come and circle him and take him away.
Action.
We had it, we'd filmed it, we had about 3 or 4 takes that were just perfect, except one little extra piece of magic courtesy of Bill Murray. And we did one more, and in it, Bill Murray blows the sky a kiss. He kisses the sky right as they're taking him down. It's my favorite shot in the movie. That was the take. And Bill Murray afterwards said, "Did you see what I did? Did you see what I did?" It's like, yeah. The story is so truly about Hawaii and what Hawaii does to you and how it fulfills you. Hawaii also was a chance to write about some true base living families and what that life is like. And only in Hawaii do all these elements coexist in such a kind of unforgettable way.
We shot the movie in scene order, which keeps you emotionally involved whether you're in front of the camera or not. Emotions are everywhere. And you get very close with these people you've just spent 6 months of your life with, actors included. So when Gilchrist is saying goodbye, that he's literally saying goodbye. So it's very special and rare. Working with Cameron and going in scene order is a rare blessing, and we got to live that. And it was beautiful.
It's the emotional center of the movie, and you shot like big landscapes, F-22s, space, Hawaii and the greatness and the vastness of the ocean. But really, now you're telling the story of people in love coming back together. And it's as important as the most, exotic, wonderful shot of the greatest location in the world is just the faces of these actors. And I remember playing Harvest Moon, the Neil Young song, which Rachel really connects to, and also Hunger Strike, the Temple of the Dog song that Bradley Cooper really connects to. And we were using the camera, the music, and the incredible power of these actors to come together and really kind of close the story with these small emotional moments that are huge in all of our lives. The old story that gets told is you make the movie 3 times, once when you write it, once when you film it, and once when you edit it. And that's been very true of this experience. Filming it, I realized that it was so much about the journey of Gilchrist. In earlier versions of the script, it was very much about the career of Emma's character. And Gilchrist was kind of, in a way, the spine of the story. And what I saw filming that was different from writing was that Bradley Cooper brought such a commitment to the story of Gilchrist, and there's such a kind of commanding performance that he gave us that it was kind of an extra pillar that you just love to be able to get. The story of him being reunited with the daughter that he never was sure he had, that became an incredibly powerful thing. It was a couple sentences in the script, a little wisp of a storyline that ran through. With Danielle Russell, the daughter of Bradley Cooper's character, who was never sure if Bradley Cooper's character was her father, there's a moment where he's watching her practicing hula, and she looks at him, and on his face, she realizes the truth. And she kind of falls apart emotionally, recovers, all while doing the hula, runs out, hugs him, and they have completed this kind of mystery that lived inside the family. Just, a small storyline in the script. Danielle had auditioned with that scene. So often, like something that happens in the room on the day, you get a version of it. You might not get that thing that made you hire them. Billy Wilder has said that the great audition that happens in the room, like 9 times out of 10, will never happen on the day. Danielle had been around for most, if not all, of the filming, essentially waiting to do that big scene.
And Cameron directed her very quietly, and We said action, and away she went.
And action, Hula.
You're killing me right now. It was beautiful. I couldn't watch because I had to start crying.
And it was like, whoa. It was kind of a surprise wallop that happened emotionally. We were all in tears.
It was a special moment that I'll never forget.
Guys, that's a picture wrap on Danielle.
Not only was there emotions of ending the film, but it was such an emotional journey for Bradley and Danielle.
Very rarely does the audition scene that everybody loves get topped again and again and again. And you did that. Way to go.
She brought exactly what she did that made me hire her and more, and it was an explosion.
I'm like happy and sad at the same time.
It became a scene that demanded to be the end of the movie. That was quite a feat for that young girl.
What does aloha mean to you?
Aloha. Jeez, aloha mean everything to me. Aloha aina.
Love a country.
How much Hawaiian are you?
You know aloha when you feel it. You grow up thinking aloha is a Hawaiian catchphrase. And then you learn about Hawaii. And you learn how deep the word runs and the meaning behind the word. It means hello, it means goodbye, it means love, it means a feeling in the air. It's a gift that these people whose country has been taken from them still give you. It's a gift of love.
Nailed it.
Aloha. Even just now, I just wrapped the movie, and a complete stranger came up to me as I was walking back to my trailer and said, "Miss Emma, please take the aloha with you. There's a spirit of love and kindness and compassion and understanding and rootedness, and aloha encompasses all of that. You can't intellectually understand it, you have to just feel the spirit of it."
I do feel like the sort of magic of this place, the power of it, it gets to you. And it's in the land and the ocean and the wind. And it all passes through you.
I mean, man, I do not want to go home. I mean, New York is like, I'm sad I'm leaving Hawaii.
My last sunset, and it was a killer one. Gorgeous, amazing. No place like it on earth. I feel like, you know, it's become a home in a way to me, and I'm really gonna miss it a lot.
What I'm gonna miss most about Hawaii is just the people that I was able to work with.
Let's just stay here for a while.
Everyone is like a family here.
When you first start shooting, you start meeting these people, and you have a hard time remembering everybody because you're being 60, 70 new names, and then we are together 14 hours a day, 6 days a week, if not 7 days a week for 4 months. When you're shooting on a location, even in Hawaii, you're all in it together. Like, there is no home base. Your family will come and visit you for a couple days or a couple of weeks, but that's it. You rely on everybody else for your happiness and for your sanity.
Wrap, a wrap. Shivakin, here I come.
It's like a rock tour, a music tour. The crew is the same way. It's the family that all comes together to create the meal that you're going to serve to an audience one day, to your guests.
Being away from your real family is the hardest part of the job. So that's why working with Cameron is so special, because he gives you the love that you need. He appreciates you, and he understands the sacrifice you're giving to him. The soul he has is amazing.
You know, I just love the environment that Cameron creates on set, and the fact that everyone feels heard, and I think everybody feels important. That's a gift. That really is. I'm gonna get teary now because it's sad it's gonna be over.
You're sad it's gonna be over?
I am sad. Just, ugh, I don't know, it's just because it's so fun and you're so invested.
I got everything that I was looking for because of the actors and the crew. I couldn't have done it alone. It's like you've been on this journey together, and when you do the last shot, we'd shot all night and the sun was coming up in a courtyard in downtown Honolulu. And there was a double rainbow in the sky, and it just felt like a good omen for everything.
Ladies and gentlemen, that is a picture wrap on all of us.
Guys, thank you so much for an amazing experience. Thank you. Thank you, Cameron.
There's a surface version of Hawaii that feels very gettable and like, oh yeah, I can take home a souvenir and always have that feeling. But you can't really. You can't take a small souvenir home and really get the feeling of Hawaii. You have to spend time there, and it affects you deeply. And that's what happened.
Land is everything. You know, it's not just all base for sustenance and all that. But we won with the land. It's where we came out of. You just sit on the land, you heal. It's healing just to sit here and just smell the fresh air. Hey, if you like, plant something. You know, the next time you come back, if it's growing, then hey, I did that.
呵呵